you would expect to test the bottom side of that channel a couple of times in quick succession, because that's what it did when it was previously back here on those two touches marked with those green circles. So having a couple of touches here before moving to the top side, perfectly understandable. That being the top side once, two higher highs. If we're to try and test that area again, that previous high, what confluence would we find at that area? Well, number one, it's the bottom side of this gap. Two, we've just recently been there, so it would be up around our previous resistance level. Three, it's the golden pocket. Four, it's the baseline of the channel, which would certainly be confirmed if price was to move away from support now. Then you're getting back above a 50 simple at 1.21, the 200 period moving average in at around 143, and then the golden pocket up at around 169. Maybe even testing slightly higher, but at that stage you'd be into the gap, you'd be closing that, and you'd be aiming for the top side of this channel in at around 250. So 230 to 250, that's the route to get in there. Doesn't mean it stops. No, there's an 886 just up at around 3. Quite easily it could go there. But there's a number of reasons why we're paying attention to these immediate levels in front of us. Not simply for risk management, but to manage our own expectations. So it's in at around 121 is the first level above. Very, very positive. On the weekly though, pay attention to that area in at around 169. That's the 50 simple period moving average on the weekly time frame. Very, very likely, that's the fifth reason why that would be the area to target up at around those levels. So 5 different reasons to look to that same area on the chart. Down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see the 200 period moving average in at around 121, 122, giving another reason why you would look to that area first and be cognizant of the immediate areas above before getting carried away with those wild targets which we expect price action to take us to eventually. You've got the 50 simple providing support in around the previous lows. If you're to break out of this channel, then to the downside, price action could easily come and test that previous wick low, the 382 from this Fibonacci here on daily, in at around $1. That could easily happen. You could even express the width of this channel in one dimension with a break back down and testing towards that 236 at 75 cents. These are all possible. If it is that price action breaks out of this channel, then let's say we take it on this measurement, which is a little bit rough, but you can see what I'm getting at. Very, very close. And if we're to draw it more accurately, even more accurate on that target. Drop that on the breakout point, and you can see it take us to a 236. Depending on when that happens, it might be right on it. And if price action is to make that kind of a move, then it would be completing a number of different TA scenarios from back here. But that's not the point I'd like to make. The point I'd like to make is price action tested that 200 period moving average. It's looking to recover a 50 simple and test the 200 again. If it can do that, even with a breakdown, I'd expect to see a retest back up then. So even if it slips down, and that's a very dramatic drop, which I don't anticipate happening immediately, all in one breath, or even is it what I'm looking to right now. But if price action was to make it out of the channel, that's what you'd be looking at. And because we did it this way, we can also do it the other. If you are to break to the top side, out top side of that channel, maybe you're looking up at around $3.80, $3.90, $4. I would expect on a breakout move like that, you'd be getting the full target at this stage, and talking about a break all the way up to the bottom side of another gap. And that's what we're looking at. So a bit of a jump, a bit of a gap, hop, skip and a jump, and then we're at another one. These are all the checkpoints en route to you making an extremely successful trade and being even happier with the price action on LivePerson. It's done fantastically well recently, and we anticipate more of the same. So we've looked at that important level above, that golden pocket, that basis line of the channel, that important moving average, and we've scoped out the 4 or 5 different reasons why it's a very important level. We've also looked at that intermediate target en route at around 121. And again, confluence suggesting why that's a good place to look to. We understand that if you're going to get to the top levels, you're going to have to go through there. So that's where we're focused on at the minute. We also understand the basis line within this channel being resistance, very recently rejecting off the 200 period moving average. It's still possible you fall out of the bottom side of support here. We have the three areas you might look to go to below there. First one you'd expect to bounce at in at around $1. Very, very strong reason for it to bounce there. So how will price action evolve if it recovers that channel? Well, without a huge break out of it and with a retest that manages price to recover within it, or price breaking back above the basis line, either of those two scenarios paint a very bullish picture for LivePerson. And we could very much then look at that potential breakout move that we scoped out there at the end of the charting period of the show. We saw those huge moves to around the bottom side of another gap potentially coming. So the risk management at that level will change significantly, meaning the potential that we're also very focused on at the minute, maximizing our positions, making the most of these low areas in price. They will seem a distant memory when price action takes out 240, 250, and then you'll be looking at maybe another 300% up from that level as being the next area, the next island to aim for. And all of this behind us would have then been fixed. The flashes that we needed to fill, the gaps that were underneath, all those inevitables or strongly questioning artifacts on the chart that would have led to an anchor on price action. We've managed to free ourselves of those, and we're looking to see where price action goes next. So that was all price action first. We also would like to look here a little bit at the fact that the RSI came down on the daily, broke through that then, the resistance level, recovered its own moving average, back above the center line, retesting that, and holding that area, very, very positive sign. If it does also bounce from the bottom side of this channel, get a bit of impetus then on the RSI, take it into the bullish control zone, you'll very much be looking to back test that previous high, golden pocket, basis line of the channel. It makes sense for a number of different reasons. If you don't know why that makes sense, take my course, www.technicalanalysis.school. It's the best resource for you to learn how to trade. Join the best community at the discord.gg/rockyoutcrop. It's the best community to help you learn to trade. And all the people in it, especially all those people who lead and teach, thank you so very much. I appreciate you so much. So does Rocky. You're a crucial part of everything we're doing, and we're really proud to have you guys there. So if you're not in the Discord yet, make the most of that opportunity. And shout out to everybody all around the internet who's trading LivePerson. I've noticed there's loads and loads of little communities springing up off the back of people who are implementing the software on behalf of their communities and then find subreddits in the Discord and people like myself. LivePerson really seems to be getting a lot of traction. And with the recent launch of their community hub, I expect we'll see some funny stories and funny memes building up out of that. Also, it's a great resource. And in this type of sector, with those type of customers that LivePerson handles, them operating together, the synergies that will come from that community will benefit all of those customers, the ecosystem that builds up around it, then the word of mouth sales. The business is getting traction, and it's because the right people are pushing it in the right directions. They understand the steps that they need to take to make this a $1 trillion company, and they're pushing for it. They're really pushing for it, and they're doing very well. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this show, if you got any value from it, then check out the links in the description below, and I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, you'd be very, very welcome here. Thanks very much. I appreciate you. See you in the next one, which will be tomorrow.